All right, continuing on with a Chad Stroman's supplement to his complaint. So on Friday, July 11th, so about 4 days after the 7/7 incident, at 3:16 a.m., he observed a black male riding a bicycle in the 1700 block of Pierce Street, going northbound. Robert Bass. Because he has dealt with him several times in the past week. So ever since 7/7, 2008, to this day, he was dealing with Robert Bass. He got out on Bass and asked him what he was doing. He said that he had been at his mother's house and that he was riding his bike to his aunt's house. However, it is hard to believe whether or not that is true because Bass is constantly out after curfew and violating his curfew. I know that he does spend time between the two houses. So he knows it's true, but he doesn't know if it's true. However, he spoke to Bass several times and told him not to be out after curfew. That cop ain't his daddy. That cop ain't nobody telling anybody anything. Anyways, he asked Bass, whatever, if he wanted to tell any information about an incident that happened at 903 16th Street. It was a fight. He did admit that he was involved in that. He said that it was a fight that had started between a group of gangster disciples that he was with and some West Side locals that happened behind that address. They did that to the car because they believed it was West Side local gang members. He did give me some names, however, of some possible suspects that were with him. Jason Parker, he named off Brandon, he named off Shiloh and Fate. Shiloh, Solomon, and Fate. He explained that Bass, he was going to jail. He did not handcuff Bass because he was cooperative with him, and he has been cooperative. I messed up. I'm supposed to go a few more this way. So again, I did some redacted. So this is Chad Stroman's complaint as well. So that last part was the last part of this. So date on Monday 7/7 at 12:50 a.m. he was dispatched there, slicing tires, something that's not. When he arrived, he spoke with the complainant Hernandez and the vehicle Hoffman. There were two Hoffman girls, Sydney and Megan. Sydney was the one that the vehicle was registered to. None of the girls, Sydney, Megan, or Hernandez, could give any description of the subjects. They said that they were in the backyard, some of them with knives, baseball bats. See some go over there. The girls ran into the house when they came. But a couple of nights before, there were problems. Hispanic or Native. He appeared to be either Hispanic or Native. He was just looking in the window. Anyways, approximately 2 hours later, at 2:55 a.m., dispatch received another call from 903 16th Street that there were subjects back at the house throwing bricks through the windows of the car and also the windows of 903 16th Street itself. When he arrived that time, some of the officers had been told that 910 16th Street, Kinnaman had got out on a vehicle that had just pulled up behind 910 16th Street. The vehicle was occupied by 4 people, 3 males and 1 female. That complaint number was that he did assist over at 910 16th Street. He dealt with the male party that was sitting in the front right passenger seat. That would be me. Tyler and Kinnaman had dealt with the driver himself. We're taking all the parties out of the vehicle. The front driver was taken out. I told him to place his hands on his head. As I was asking him to step out, he told me that he had a pocket item. He was wearing light blue. They had the situation pretty much under control. He went back to his vehicle and spoke with Mr. Gomez again. So where is he omitting the fact that when he came back to the vehicle, he had one of them females with him. One of them female victims was with him. When he went back to his vehicle and spoke with me again, Sydney Hoffman, Hernandez, or the other Megan Hoffman, was with him, and he asked them if I was the suspect, and they said no. So where's that in your report, Chad Stroman? So again, he did measure the blade on that, and the blade was 3.5 inches long, which is in violation of the Municipal Code of Sioux City. That's the Municipal Code of Sioux City, Iowa, 702.7, which specifies 5 inches, not 3 inches. Malicious prosecution, unreasonable search and seizure, unlawful arrest, warrantless arrest, no crime. They transported me to county jail. Tyler told me that he had also had charges of failure to obey because he had told Gomez to get back in the vehicle. Gomez did comply after Officer Tyler telling him to. Look at that. That's a fluff word. That's a fluff word. Tyler told me that he also had charges of failure to obey because he had told Gomez to get back in the vehicle, and Gomez did comply after Officer Tyler telling him to. That several times. That's a fluff word. That's a fluff word. That's a fluff word. So what did I do? Did I fail to obey or not? So is that a malicious prosecution? While I was speaking with Megan and Hernandez, Sydney did say that she knew who broke her windshield. I asked her who it was. She said she didn't know his name, but he was a black male. And you see that that Bass kid didn't mention my name. They're familiar with a couple of black males who frequent the areas. The girls said that they could ID the person who was throwing the bricks. So when they said that, they brought the girls to the car to ID if I was one of the ones throwing these bricks or whatever in that gang, whatever gang. But so they did leave 3 witness statements, and we seen these witness statements. So they knew before they filled out the statements who had done what to their car. So and then on 7/11/2008, this Bass brother, one of the Bass brothers, was cooperating with them all week and giving them information, right? They had dealt with him in about the past week. They kept dealing with him for the past week. So that right there says that they've had more conversations with this kid. Jason Parker, Brandon, Shiloh, 16th and Myrtle, who goes by the name of Solomon, and he has a brother by the name of Fate. None of these people are me.